Hey folks, welcome to another multiplayer cloud game. Once again, I'm facing off against Frederick, and once again, we're recording check-ins about every 10 turns or so. Decided for this one I'd do a check-in for turn 1, just to let you know the lay of the land and what things look like when we're starting. Starting on the right side of the map at 7617. Game settings are very similar to the last game, except for now we're on a small inland sea map, which is quite a bit smaller than the large inland sea map, so maybe we'll see conflict well before turn 100. I chose Egypt, largely because there's some pyramids here. I want to try an interesting landowner, sages, and cleric start. Curious to see how that plays out. And since the last game there were no pyramids available, I didn't really want to try that. This sort of secures pyramids as Egypt. I had to sell some stone here. Founded with a builder again, because I really like the builder opening now. And going after stone cutting to get some stone up and running here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not much to show graph-wise or stat-wise, since we're starting at 0 for everything. So see you in about 9 turns at the turn 10 check-in. All right, we're back here on turn 10. So I founded Landowners, which I'm kind of regretting now. Maybe should have founded Clerics, because this looks like such an amazing rider seat, and I'm not going to be able to take riders because my last city is going to be sages based on my plan here. It's also kind of painful having horses here and here when I really want to be pumping inquiries out of those cities. Declared war on the Numidians that I found. I've been chopping pretty aggressively here. Clearing out this barb site with my starting warrior. Yeah, let's take a look at the tech tree. I did take stone boost here. So I've got trapping and stone cutting. I took stone boost over ironworking. That might have been a mistake. I kind of do need ironworking, and I don't have it right now. It's a pretty early tech tree. I had to get monasticisms for the clerics found. I'm going to get this settler, and then I'm going to spam some workers out because I really need to get the eco up in this city. This city is going to start a disciple, and that worker is going there for orders for trapping. I don't really have anything else to improve in that city right now. It's definitely an interesting clerics city. We'll see what sages found gives me. Hopefully it'll give me something like not ironworking. Hopefully it'll give me, I guess, or I don't know. Doctrine would be amazing. That would be the best of choices, but that's pretty low odds. It's got what, 1, 2, 3, assuming it doesn't give me the thing I'm teching. 4, 5, 6, so 1 out of 6 odds for Doctrine. We'll see what we get there. Records-wise, we got 1 farmer specialist, thanks to here. That gives me nice 20 gold, or kind of got a lot of money right now, which is always great with a builder start. It's another nice thing. Produced 1 worker, no military units produced yet, 4 techs, 4 improvements of farm, quarry, garrison, and a mine. Military score, just have that 1. Science production, pretty flat at 24. Money, pretty good. Orders, just at 9. Not much really to write home at this point. Goal is to clear this out. Going to be going for pikemen, because I want to be able to clear out Numidians. My opponent, very far away. He started with a cleric Persia. Did buy 1 tile here to be able to grab that with landowner buying tile abilities, which are pretty cool. I need to remember that I have that in the seat, so that seat can truly become amazing. Maybe even go buy some horses from somewhere, I'm not sure where. Go to buy all the way over here. Probably not realistic. Yeah, so I definitely want to clear this out with some pikes. And just gonna, since we're so far away, relatively speaking, I'm gonna eco pretty hard, I think. Do kind of wish I had picked a hunter nation, because look at this city. Oh my lord. Look at this city. Just that is such a hunter city. But no, I went with Egypt this game. I'm already regretting not picking Persia. Here's the edge of the map. So we're tile 75 to tile 10, so about 65 tiles across. Not 65 tiles apart. Not quite the 80-something that we were in the previous game. We've got the Gauls to the north. Have not yet revealed them. Probably don't want to declare war on both. I had an event to give me 6 legitimacy declaring war on the Numidians, so I took it. 6 legitimacy this early in the game is actually really nice. So yeah, I'm going to get this settler out, get some workers up there, get some workers here. Hopefully this mill drill will eventually turn into an ironworking. Should be next roll, and we can get another warrior up and running. Definitely want to go warriors, not slingers, largely because I want to be able to upgrade my warriors into spearmen later, especially since I know I'm facing Persia. So spears and pikes might be very good. All right, that's it for this sit rep, and see you in about 10 turns.
Situation report, turn 10 from game 7 versus alcaras. So for initial starting location I chose Persia with Clerics. There's no, the start is fairly balanced or not weighted in any direction. There's some camels here that would get doubled by hunters. There's one crop resource that would benefit landowners, but not too heavily in one way or the other. So we choose Clerics, which is fairly neutral, looking for a better location for hunters. Secondary, we also chose Orator as our starting leader. This is basically hoping for 2 things with him, or 3 things. One is recruiting tribal mercenaries, so that we don't have to build as many military units initially. Then we can get some extra orders if we manage to get our families to friendly. Usually that's fairly difficult early, but with clerics and an early religion we can get there fairly fast once we adopt it as state religion and get an influence or 2 in on the head of religion. Basically the goal is once we found Statesmen and get our 400 civics from Statesmen, we can adopt this as a state religion, and then once we enact monotheism, which we got available through clerics, after that we are also looking to use the head of religion to convert the family heads, and then once they, with the religion bonus from and the family head conversion, the whole family should convert, and then we should get to 200 with almost every one of our families. Then we get lots of orders from our families, so we can deal with some loss of legitimacy from buying tribal mercenaries. And since with Persia we'll eventually get some extra orders from these pastures and things like doubling these elephants from hunters. Then of course the extra charisma also gives us some more civics, which we can use for these conversions. Not as many civics because with competitive mode we don't get as many resources out of our leader stats. So we've already founded our second cities as hunters here on the coast. Lots of pearls to go around, as well as some growth resources. And also found a city site up here with some ore and horses. Also, this is also going to be a hunter city for us. Boosting these elephants will be good. Horses for a unique unit, and ore to boost our training output. Statesmen, we're probably moving back here. We can see some desert tiles, so clerics would also be good, but this side, which we can probably clear in time, but this will take like 2 more turns to get down here, so we'll very likely moving up here to found Statesmen. Yeah. The capital will also be looking to turn into our inquiry production center, boosting civics as much as possible. We have some growth resources, so we're probably looking to boost our civics through poets from Odeons. Eventually, of course, also the monastery and monks. So far we have unlocked ironworking and stone cutting, going for a fairly early divination. One because it's a fairly fast reroll towards stone boost. Also, we're looking to place our monastery here, so I want the shrine, an early shrine down here to expand our borders, because monasteries will eventually boost these groves once we get to land consolidation, and this will boost our culture in the capital a lot. And since for building inquiries we want to get our culture up very fast, since the higher inquiries have a better conversion rate. Also getting culture up fast to build the higher wonders here. The Acropolis is available and the Circus Maximus is available. These are wonders we're looking for. On the other end, alcaras has chosen to go with Egypt this time, and he's already building the pyramids. Of course, Egypt starting with extra 400 stone makes this very easy. We are probably looking for either the Ziggurat or the Oracle as our early wonder before we start our big urban expansion with barracks and so on. You can also see that he chose Clerics second. This is this spot, which is kind of interesting. He might not have seen the ore before founding the city, because the Cleric seat usually wants to be, he might also want to turn this into his inquiry city, but the ore is more suited towards unit production, so it will be interesting what he goes for. He might also found I'm not sure what he founded initially, whether it's riders or landowners, but probably landowners. So he's looking to found riders third, and then no sages to use for inquiries. Actually considering focusing on money production in this city first, getting some fishers onto these pearls, since we can use this city for military production. We also have some cultural resources here, so leveling up the city, the culture in here is not too difficult. Of course, culture here will be trivial with these doubled nets for culture, so eventually we might want to go back to military production in here. Research goals, navigation we can probably delay, since we aren't desperate in need for these orders. We want to go military drill, husbandry definitely, probably at least to spoked wheel. I'm not quite sure if I want to go portcullis or sovereignty first. Sovereignty with officers and monks is also very good science boost. Maybe even better than portcullis, but we also want drama fairly early to build the Odeon line for poets in the capital, as I mentioned. Sovereignty for constitution to boost the urban specialist science output. And we can't delay forestry too much as well, since once we start building monasteries, that will eat a lot of wood. I've delayed the disciple a bit. That could have come out earlier, but I've chosen to build a farmer to expand the borders here, just as I mentioned, to build the monastery in a sweet spot here. Building the early shrine also is somewhat of a risk, as this starts. That means people will start to convert to paganism as well, which will make this a more contested. If we would delay this longer, there will be more people converted to Zoroastrianism already. But I think we will be able to deal with this fairly well. The head of the family is already converted. We already have another member. The matriarch is the head of the Zoroastrianism is also from the Clerics here. So this will be good. Also, the Clerics like having holy cities in their territory, so this will be another opinion boost for them to secure our friendly relations. I was hoping to get a ranged unit from the Thracians to hire, since their special unit is a ranged unit. The Peltasts are excellent tribal mercenaries, having the promotion for bonus on hills makes them very strong ranged units. Kind of grabbed one of the barbarian units earlier when clearing this camp. Might have been a bit overzealous, as tribal mercs get more expensive the more you hire, and these plain barbarian units can only be upgraded to strength 4, but these can still be used as to tank some hits or to block a camp when waiting for a settler. So it's not all bad. Anyway, that's it for now for turn 10. See you later.
Turn 20. All right, we've got our first law, monotheism, which we picked up, giving us an extra order. Very order constrained since we started with a builder. Expanded here and founded sages. Got ironworking from that, which was not great, but at least let me build warriors without having to research it. So not terrible. At least it wasn't divination or administration, but it wasn't doctrine, sadly. I'll put the tech tree up for a little bit more so you can see it as well. Right now, I really want navigation for the extra orders, probably portcullis and then cartography as well, because I want to be able to steal tech once I get vision scouting around here. Did not realize there was a open city site here, because I did not scout here until very late. So queued up a settler to go grab that soon. Pyramids are done. We don't really have any stone income, so we definitely need to fix that. But getting racks up here, we're going to be producing military out of here and here. Clerics, too good a city site not to, especially with that miner there. Going to build maybe a settler here. Not sure actually, whether we do scout or settler. Probably settler actually. Swap to settler there. In that site. Tangle a little bit with the Numidians. This guy came up, and just I need those other warriors to really deal with these Numidians. We're also going to get pikemen, or spearmen, because we want to kill the Numidians. Getting husbandry, so that'll give us some extra orders from all these horses. Lots of horses. Really regretting not taking Persia this game, especially since it's like an amazing hunter city. Oh my god. All right, well, we'll live with Egypt. So play with Egypt. We're getting garrisons up for orders, of course. Definitely need to get more stone up and running here. Stone everywhere. Yeah, improvement-wise, not much really to report right now. We've got 1 specialist, the farmer, in the start, 4 workers produced, 7 techs. Pretty straightforward improvements. You can see farm, mine, quarry, camp. That's barracks, garrison. We got the monastery up in the clerics site. This is not spread anywhere. I'm saving up for 400 civics, largely because I would like to get state religion, so that monotheism actually gives me an extra order, and so I can give it legalism and revelations, which spreads a bit. Depending on what tech I get next, I may or may not take the state religion, because if I get navigation, I would rather have the 200 civics to get navigation for orders first. So we'll see how that goes. Graph-wise, really not much to see yet. We can take a look at civics, pretty flat. Science, pretty flat at 31. Orders, not doing great at 10, so better than we were before. And military score, we're basically at 1 warrior. Have not made contact with Frederick. we can, from watching his sit rep from the last game, we can see that he has influenced and using the magic of tooltips. We see that his starting leader is an orator, which I'm actually really curious about and want to learn more about what he was thinking with that starting leader choice. Perhaps he's trying to do some sort of friendly religion strategy where everyone loves everyone. Although getting friendly early is actually a challenge. Although I guess if you influence this, which he's done, I get plus 40 there, which maybe would get me more. So maybe a great source of orders for early orators. Scouting around here, do definitely want to get another scout out, get some vision. Potentially another settler, since I'll need one there and one there. Although maybe this will just keep pumping settlers. We'll see. Got some barbs that I can clear later. I think I want to go on a quest to clear out the Numidians. Ideally, get spearmen, so I can do that as well as get forestry. Lots of early techs. Hopefully, I can find some scholars from our friends, the sages. So we've got our king consort who can run some. Although we are a builder and we're intelligent, so I don't think I want to run increase out of the cap there. Sages, maybe we'll found a pagan religion there at some point, so that we can use that, although there might be a better site with some marble somewhere. So yeah, that's where we are right now. Turn 20, just sort of coming along, not picking up slavery yet, because I'm pretty short on civics right now. Really want to get these two warriors out so they can clear this Numidian site. I don't know if I'll back clear here. This is not particularly interesting land, although there is ore back there. So maybe I will, because I definitely need ore, because I do not have a military family in this build. So that might be interesting to do. And this looks like a decent military site, and then this looks like a decent landowner site with those two barley. And then this looks like, I don't know, need to scout some more. Gauls, we'll probably stay at peace with them for a bit. All right, so that's that. This check-in, and see you in about 10 turns.
Sitrip from turn 20. I might have called this the 7th game last time, but it's actually only our 6th game with alcaras and myself. I also neglected to mention our leader, our initial leader perk, and we got affable, which is actually a really strong early game perk, getting growth, extra growth, like both the governor as well as the global leader. These two stack, since we have our leader in the city. Once we hit developing, we are now getting 6 growth out of our leader in here. So we are having very good growth levels despite being neither landowners nor hunters. Having one upgraded farm here. The shrine here will also boost this a little bit, but not 20% is not very much. So in here, as we noted previously, the shrine is almost done. We've lined up the disciple to immediately start building a monastery. It's a bit later for monastery to start it on turn 20. Usually you would want to get this disciple out a bit earlier, but it's not too bad. We're doing okay on science. We founded our statesman seed back here. Unfortunately, there's no growth at all, and we aren't even connected, so we're just having our base 8 plus the affable leader bonus, which will not get us very many citizens in here. So we'll have to see how we can get enough specialists to build our decrees to get specialists for civics. We want to build poets here, but without the citizens, the poets will not produce any civics. So we'll see. Maybe if push comes to shove, we will need to build some festivals in here just to get some citizens. But we'll see. That's a problem for later. Here we're starting to build settlers, get this city next and this city third. 2 more hunter cities here. 1 settler on its way down here. Probably founding clerics. So cleric settler giving an extra citizen immediately. We also don't see anything. Of course, if there were more resources around here for early luxuries, Statesmen would also be good, but Clerics is just fine. Also give us an opportunity to build another monastery for that sweet double science. Giving 4 science per monastery in Cleric cities is really strong. Each monastery is currently 20% up on our science income, which is huge. It's one of the reasons Clerics are such a strong family right now. Our trial mercenaries got up to 3. Unfortunately, we only get one really good one. Only one Thracian ranged unit. We picked up another Thracian melee unit down here because we would have liked to kill them all, but it would have gotten the one slinger would not have been able to finish everyone off. So we were forced to pick up another tribal mercenary down here. Probably looking at maybe 1 or maybe 2 more. This purely barbarian one we're just going to keep at strength 3, using him to occupy some city sites. These 2 or these Thracian ones we're planning on upgrading to strength 6, and these are going to fight our wars against the tribes. Unfortunately, we got our scout in a bit of a pickle here, and we're going to have to spend some training to get him out of here. That's a 200 training, 1 for an extra order and 1 for a force march, which is really unfortunate. Those 2 orders are really handy for upgrading those tribal mercenaries. You'll still have enough to get this one all up to strength 6 over the next 2 turns, and then we'll have a really strong unit. We also see some vandals up here, but we haven't met them yet. Got the glimpse of the site when founding the Statesman seat. Then some other plans we accelerated. Usually we got all our families following our religion and friendly, so we are swimming in orders usually. If we weren't forced to get our scout to safety, we would actually, those 3 orders would have actually been wasted, because we wouldn't have any more units to move. Could move this year, but we're waiting for the settler to found the cities to start healing. The reason we're already there is because we married the head of the religion, as well as picked up cunning. Cunning normally not a trait you want to pick up. 20 opinion with the religious and family heads is kind of nice, but not that strong. We would also have been Delver would have been on offer, which would have usually been the pick, since that would have boosted the mines and quarries in this city, the capital, and everywhere else also. But usually we would only get the opinion after enacting state religion and converting ourselves. But we got a conversion event for ourselves, and together with the marriage and the cunning, we got her 200 opinion and could spend some civics to convert the heads of the family. The cleric had converted himself, the other 2 we invested in, so we now have 3 friendly families, and all our cities are going to give us 2 orders from our orator leader. So we are good. This is also why we can afford to hire these tribal mercenaries. We don't care for the legitimacy hit so much, because we have way more orders that we can use currently. Going to need some jobs to fund all these monasteries and such. We also got to pick up a Thracian kid from one of the tribal camps we cleared, which is not something that I usually do, but we didn't have any other kits when this event popped up, so I took it because he started with Robust, a really powerful perk. He is kind of close in age to our leader, only 17 years younger, so we'll have to see how this pans out. We didn't have a tutor for him, so he's fairly basic. He was joined us when he was 12, got politics, and eventually picked up judge. Also picked up Delver. Because he's robust and Delver, we want him as a governor while he's not leader. So I think the other option was a scholar, which is also okay, or quite good if he would take over. But he's a family neutral judge currently, so we are going to use him for our hunter cities. Hopefully get the culture up fast enough to rush some officers, especially in here and probably in this city, or maybe even in here, rushing some fishers actually, not officers, although rushing fishers has to pay off with the money, but looking to turn this into a money maker to fund everything else, possibly with a lighthouse. Having hunter, lighthouse, and fishers triples the base. Like hunters and the lighthouse both give plus hunters to triple this to 60, and then the fisher is 100% on the sum of everything else. So that would be 120 for each of these pearls income. That would be really, really sweet. In terms of wonders, he finished the pyramids. Since he's Egypt and has the spare stone, we're going to look probably building the oracle. Sigurd is also something I really like. Seemingly one of the only people, or the few people who likes building an early Sigurd. I think the one improvement cost is actually paying huge dividends over the whole game if you get it early, and the civics are also very much appreciated. But we would need to build the wonder here, and we're looking to build to boost culture in one of our hunter cities, either in here, since there's no culture resources at all, or up here. But here we have some gems, and this will provide us a passive income, so the city doesn't look too bad in terms of culture, but we'll have to see. There's also an argument to be made. Just build every wonder in here to boost our culture in Persia, just to get the higher inquiries in here. But we shouldn't neglect our culture, the culture in our main military cities where we want to build cataphract archers. So this has to take a priority as well. So that's it for turn 20. See you soon.
Turn 30, we are checking in here. I'm currently at 5 cities. Frederik is at 6. I just founded my 5th city, so I'm a little bit behind in expansion. I don't have another free city site to expand to, so need to do some more. Don't have that many orders, so also need to do some more. I'm at war with both the Gauls and the Numidians. I think I want to clear out the Numidians. Frederik's capital is there. He is similar power-wise, but naive. I just got Spearmen. We can take a look at the tech tree. So I just got Phalanx. I'm getting navigation. Fortunately, since I have the pyramids, I will be able to apply that with just 200 civics, which would be great because I desperately need the orders right now. Tech-wise, after that, probably going to prioritize econ. So maybe look at forestry, get polis, potentially get portcullis, or just try to beeline to cartography, although since right now he is naive to me, there's not much point in getting that right now, but I think it is worth at least considering. trying to get these cities up and running. Founded landowners here. Families are pretty happy as well, although the sages are not very happy right now. So, yeah. Hopefully my religion will spread. Unfortunately, it has only spread to the Gauls so far, which is not great. I don't want it. I mean, that's great. When I take that site, it'll automatically have the religion since it holds the religion after the site. I've been using my lonely bored disciple to buy tiles around Wasset to expand Wasset boundaries, get some nice resources in there. Probably will go over by those. I don't think I want this one since I think I want this to become a military city down here. I don't know. It might be worth going and getting that iron actually. Since I'm already down here, it's just 2 more buys, and then I get iron. Kind of impoverishes that city, but that city is not a particularly great city anyway. And it sort of lets this city get up and running, and that iron will be a fast expansion. So yeah, fortunately, there's no horses that I can steal anywhere. Yeah. Oh well. But yeah, we can potentially buy that iron. Just notes. G6 notes, buy that iron. Potentially, we'll see. It's getting slightly expensive. He has founded legalism and revelation, largely thanks to probably having a statesman family, which gives him that 400 extra civics. I can't afford burning 600 civics right now. He's also got the oracle underway, and I would really love to pick up Great Zig. My leader is frugal, which hilariously means that since they're frugal and governor, that's minus 70% cost, except for then Egypt also has this hilarious thing where minus 25% cost for adjacent improvement classes. So each of these quarries takes two iron to build. So that's really nice in terms of conserving resources and getting the city up online and really becoming a powerhouse. Here I've settled clerics here. Gonna need to figure out how to deal with the Gauls, especially with a order short. I've started officers because I don't have the orders to use the military units I already have. Not really sure how much I want to prioritize getting these cities. This one is a decent landowner one with the 2 barley. This one, especially if I steal that ore from my capital, not particularly great. So, and I think I will steal that ore. Yeah, then it'll just be kind of a elephant city and maybe some lumber mills later on if I can expand down to the south. Don't have great vision elsewhere. I'm hiding my scout out there. Need to sort of take a look around, doing cheeky things here with urban tiles. Not sure that's really worth it, but it lets me sort of expand up the coast, and always great to get coastline. Potentially could do some of that here as well. There is an Numidian raid coming in here, somewhere around here. Need to find that out. I've got spearmen, which is great. Can deal with that. Would like to get up to 4 generals. My leader's not that old, but probably should do that somewhat soon. Let's take a look at some graphs. Military score. You can see when I upgraded to spearmen. Science production, pretty good. I think a large amount of it is thanks to being an intelligent leader. Since I'm intelligent, all my cities get +1 science per culture level. And then I'm double dipping in Wasset since I'm also the governor there. Wasset is 4. And then I guess 5 science just from being a leader there. So that's actually 4 from intelligent, 2 from intelligent leader. So 6 science in total in Wasset, which is really nice. So that is actually powering a lot of my early science. Intelligent. His leader is an orator, affable, pathfinder, cunning. So yeah, intelligent, very, 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 very strong. And frugal, also very, very strong early games. I'm really liking my early leader. She is indeed enlightened. Prince Seti, the heir, is a carpenter, which is, I guess, okay, not that great. And spoiled, which is really bad. -2 discipline is going to be very, very painful, especially since 56 of my gold right now is coming from the queen. So potentially prioritizing polis just so I can deal with money and not go broke as soon as he inherits might be interesting to get, actually. I think so. Probably target polis next, tech-wise. Since I'm okay on a military aspect with my spearmen, deal with the Numidians, clear this out. We are quite a ways apart, so I'm not worried about a timing attack right now. I think we've got some time to set up. Looks like he's expanding, I'm expanding. So pretty good there. Stats-wise, yeah, I have a farmer and a miner so far. I finished this ore here, so this city is coming online. Really trying to prioritize officers and training much more so than I have in previous games, and just really focus on getting those racks up. I need to build one more racks there. This city is probably going to try to become a civics production city. Not really well suited to it, but it is sages. So as soon as I get the religion over here, I can start a monastery and get some monks up and running, and potentially start getting some sweet increase once this techs up a bit. Really like monks for the culture that they provide. Yeah, stats wise, we've killed 6 units, haven't lost any. Yeah, so improvement wise, you can see that there. Just sort of trying to balance the econ. Definitely want to, I think, prioritize Palace so we can get those that wood up and running. Tech wise, I know he's Persia, so he's going to have cataphract archers. Probably means I will realistically want to go down Bodkin Arrow to get infantry square. I will have a ranged unique unit myself, so it's a little duplicative with longbow, but I need something to stop his cata archers eventually, which means he will probably go cohorts, which means I'll need something to deal with his infantry, which potentially like ballista, but that's not great. Barding is also where I'd like to be able to go. So I don't know. Let's see if we can get vision. I'm building another scout right now because I want to get some vision, although I'm not sure that's the right idea given I have almost no orders to deal with that scout right now. So that might not be the best idea. But I think it is important to get some vision. And every time I don't build that second scout or don't have riders, I really, really regret it. So we'll stay with that scout for now and follow it up perhaps with a settler, though I think Wassa actually has way better growth, so probably we'll do that, but I want to get this one online militarily. Landowners kind of lets you cheat in terms of like, sure, this city wasn't that great to start, but now it's expanded in all these directions and has all this wonderful stuff. It's becoming truly great, especially if I can get this mine running. Don't have any salt anywhere. These luxuries really do point me towards land consolidation because all of these luxuries are land consolidation ones except for the salt. And my families are going to rebel if I don't get them salt. And there's plenty of honey around here. So we need to find olives. And there's lavender. So yeah, so there's resources around. So there's lavender. Not sure where incense is. There's some salt. There's some dyes, pearls. So yeah, so this city, if we can grab that salt or find out if there's meetings over there. Yeah, I think land consolidation is probably looking particularly good. Forestry, land consolidation, get those luxuries up and running, and really expand. So feeling okay. I think my science lead right now is largely a consequence of intelligent leader and nothing else, as well as the free ironworking tech. Since we both had clerics, monotheism canceled out. Yeah, do want to get a scout over there to see what's going on in Persia. Yeah, can't really see much of anything. Looks like he has a garrison, the starting garrison is getting some quarries. Not really surprising. And looking at his inheritance, he's got his Thracian adopted robust Delver judge, who was made heir. I guess he cleared a camp and got this kid. So pretty old heir, and it's only like 17 years younger than his current leader, and he then has one more additional daughter. We'll see what she turns into. Apparently really pissed off and she's +0 and had to be influenced and intercede. In fact, everyone kind of hates his king. Not sure what's going on there. Yeah, so or maybe that's their opinion of me. Never mind, not their opinion of him. Misreading that, sorry. Robust judge, that's kind of going to be terrifying. So yeah, that's going to be terrifying. Judge is very, very strong, although not so much in the very early game, but can be great later on, especially for hold court. So yeah, that's where we are. We'll check in another 10 turns. Looks like this is pretty much the middle of the beginning of the game. I'd say around turn 50 is when we swap into mid game. Would really love to pick up Great Zig if I can. Lighthouse might also be interesting because there's actually quite a lot of fish resources, and mostly I don't want him to get Lighthouse as a hunter with hunters because that'll just make those so much stronger. So Navigation, though, for orders is what we're picking up next, and then potentially either land consolidation for forestry or going towards metaphysics for steel, religion, or portcullis. Probably land. We'll see. Like field portcullis and cartography, not that important right now because we're doing okay on tech. Although when my leader passes away, maybe we'll have to adjust it. All right. See you in about 10 turns.
Consider from turn 30. We have been expanding pretty well, fueled by our affable leader, as well as some hunter cities that have growth. We are up to 6 cities currently. He caught up a bit, now has 5 cities as well, but those were pretty recent, while we have had most of these cities for a while now. This city is already halfway through our settler after building the workers, so we're currently we've been building a round of workers in our hunter cities and will be returning to settler production soon. We already cleared some more city sites out, so upgraded tribal milk. Lead Paltast has been clearing out this camp alone. These two have been clearing the site in the back. You will be settling this shortly. This will probably be a statesman. Could also be a hunter because of the double value from the elephant. But I have so many good hunter sites coming up. This is double fur, the elephant, probably getting this elephant as well. There's another hunter site here for the growth, so we are pretty much set for hunter sites and need to plan for our other families to get some cities as well. Picked up a ambition for treasuries, so we're building some treasuries here. Here we have time because there's nothing else online yet. Usually this would be a military unit, but since we've been using tribal mercenaries, we have not built a single regular military unit yet. Similar, we got the monastery down and planning to build a monk here. Afterwards, we should getting the citizen in time to start building our monk, to start increasing our civics in here. Unfortunately, no couriers yet. It was an event that where the tooltip for possible future event could have gotten us a courtier, but unfortunately that would have required 2 wisdom, which I didn't have, so no luck there. We added these 2 tribal mercenaries, so we are up to 5 board units. I think there were 2 legitimacy each, so we're at -10 legitimacy from this. So as Persia, that's effectively 2 pastures worth of orders from our Persia bonus, so we can do this just fine. Of course, legitimacy is also family opinion, but that is not a concern. I did make a bit of a mistake in terms of research with this situation, and I already knew that I was maybe looking to bypass this our Thracian guy by imprisoning, but I went and almost completed labor force, which was a mistake because I need spoked wheel for the Chancellor to get access to imprisoning. Also, access to chariots is also, it's not important for clearing up the tribal marks, but there's a real chance we are going for an early push towards him with our tribal marks, getting these upgraded, settling along here, building a bireme or 2 or 3 for the coastal movement, and then pushing along here. Especially since we got this ore from an event, so we are should be outproducing him once we get these online. And maybe even use the judge for getting officers in here. We have military drill. Military drill is in the discard. So this is you get to see there's a chance for it to show up, but it's very low. These two are guaranteed, and then there's another two will be drawn from these 5 and the free chariot. Portcullis and stirrups should not be available yet because of the prerequisites. Stirrups because no citizenship, portcullis no drama, so only the chariot card will end up in the draw pile after shuffling. He's currently listed as similar, despite me buying quite a lot of tribal mercenaries, so he must have built quite a lot of units or gotten some from events. Like you can get units from clearing out tribal camps, or there's he had Judaism. I think there's a spearman mercenary event that's linked to Judaism, so maybe he got lucky there. But speaking of lucky, because we got a report of a raid towards Samarkand, I was rushing this scout over to look where it was coming from, or if it was coming from here, because I saw this one. This was not a raider, but I was looking to hire this guy, but I didn't want him to get killed by 3 raiders that could have converted up here in the north. So the raid is probably coming from here. So we're looking to move this one down and upgrading once or twice to fight off the raid. But I have been harvesting on the way over, and I got the Beast of Burden event, which I thought was removed from multiplayer, or at least from competitive mode. I reported this as a bug, so we'll see if this changes in the future, but right now we are the proud owner of a war elephant. That's kind of a big deal. It's another strength 6 unit. Together with upgraded tribal mercenaries, we can probably be at the front door where he has where he only has strength 5 units in chariots and spearmen. So, but mostly the problem with this line of strategy is that our leader will not be around long enough for an attack against him, and we are looking to drop a lot of orders once this happens. Right now, 2 orders. We're getting 2 orders for every city. That's 12 orders from our orator. Of course, we didn't quite prioritize building up all our horse resources, which will change now. Aside from barracks, once we get those researched, this will be a priority now. We have been floating orders these turns. So, probably not last turn by the looks of it, but there have been turns where we have floating orders and even like sold off like 5 or 7 orders in some turns. But there's also a chance that our daughter can become an orator, and if that happens, we definitely want to bypass him and get her in charge, and then we can continue our big order lead and use the tribal mercs as well as some chariots and the elephant to just go for an early push. He was similar beforehand, before we accepted the elephant, and is now weaker again. It's kind of important to know. So he was just barely getting similar in power last turn. Wonder what his thoughts are. I think he probably saw my scout here. I think he was visible on one of these tiles, and the city sees 4 tiles outward. So So he should have seen me and made contact. He also has some good traits on his leader, frugal and intelligent. That's the reason he's up-learned, despite us both having clerics. And frugal is really good. It's good in general, but also good for Egypt, since it stacks with the Egyptian bonus in cost reduction that they get for adjacent improvements of the same type. So he's this builder in this capital. Like, this is built up. We can see he has already barracks online. That's probably a reason why he's keeping up in military units. So this city is very built up for him. He has a builder in here which reduces the build time, and I'm very sparsely. My improvements are very sparse. It's a problem with Persia where you don't have any builders from any of your families, so things are moving along slow. That's why we need these rounds of workers to start getting things online. And our resources are quite lacking. We're having decent food income, and we can use our orders to chop, so we should be easily able to afford chariots. But everything else is still very low. Once we get the ores online, that will fix some of our iron problems. But especially stone is very, very low. So we're looking to get this up. We don't have too many mountain spots, unfortunately. Like some here. This is not, the city does not have many. We're currently building up our stone cutter here to get some more spots along these mountains, and some down here. Probably building a worker here afterwards to get more stuff built. And we can also get some online here, but this is also our latest settle, only like 2 or 3 turns ago when the city got settled. So, and on the resource department, things are coming along slowly, but we're making up for that with tribal mercenaries, and we have a decent money income. And since not building any units means all our training goes into our training pool, we can use that training to upgrade the tribal mercs. That works as well. Mostly the tribal merc strategy to attack him is only possible because he doesn't have champions. If he would have a nation with the champion family, that would be way harder, because the steadfast perk all the champion units get will kill these tribal mercenaries. Would kill these tribal mercenaries fairly easy, but since that's not the case, we can invest some more in them and not just clear out our own barbarians and tribes, but also threaten him with these units. We can maybe look a bit on some of the stats and graphs quickly. Very few improvements as I've mentioned. Clear, there's not too much here. Military score. I think this is only from the start of the turn. What the extra tribal merc and the elephant is not factored in here right now. Family opinion score is very, very happy everywhere. Not much selling going on so far. There's not too much visible here right now. Like, this is the most important right now. Like, going on 30 orders right now on turn 30 is pretty nuts. Doing good on money. It's mostly because the pearls in this coastal city with hunters. Science is kind of so-so, especially since we are up against his intelligent leader, so he's beating us on that handily just from that, and also his monasteries. Speaking of monasteries and religion, we've enacted 2 theologies. We want to spread this fast with all our cities. We're already ahead, having 3 cities over his 1 city, mainly because we founded as clerics and he founded his clerics later. So we had more time to spread, but also probably got a bit luckier. But now we have 2 theologies enacted. Our spread chance is 37, and he is still down at 7% per turn. So we should be getting new cities, especially our cleric cities we want to convert, since building monasteries there is of high value. And also they get an opinion penalty for cities without a religion. Not that opinion is currently of concern. We might be scrapping our wonder plans if we actually, if we are going for our assault on him, we are probably scrapping our wonder plans. But otherwise, we are looking to grab the lighthouse here. This lighthouse is very strong. There's many net resources here. We can also see at least 2 here. Probably no more here. I'm not sure if this counts as, this doesn't count as discovered, so maybe there could be some more here, but we expect there's to be 2. And this could also be more up here, but just the 3 pearls in here, and we'll be getting this die online eventually. So that will be a lot of money if we can get the lighthouse online. And we also, because of the culture in here getting too strong here, we could also, the Colossus is not available, so if it ever gets too strong wonders, it's going to be a race for the Acropolis. So we'll have to see. He is cleric. It's kind of his wonder is boosting his culture in here. The cleric city is also one that usually gets boosted in culture pretty strongly. So we'll have to see which city he boosts more, which he gets online faster. So I'm currently looking at 32 years to get this upgraded. We are looking at 39 years because him having the pyramids there is boosting his culture quite a bit. If we ever get land consolidation, this little cluster is going to improve culture in Persia by a lot, but we'll have to see. We will be having a monk shortly, which will get us more culture in here. Not sure if he's, I mean, he can't build a monastery right now since he doesn't have the religion. But he's probably looking to build this city up with civics too, because with later on with constitution he can build decrees here. So I would expect him to invest in civics here somewhat. But we also see barracks right now, so he might be investing in offices too. We'll have to see. Can't know for sure until he has until we get some spies up. Once our oracle finishes, we can at least see the city center tile, but that doesn't tell us much. Without a spy master, we can't pull any agents in there. Anyway, rambling on for long enough. See you in 10 turns.